Hey everybody, this is Golmov. We're on the LavaCraft SMP, and today is going to be a huge episode. I've really been looking forward to doing this for a while. We're going to break Bedrock, and not only that, we're going to do it in two different methods. So one of the methods I actually came up with myself, and it was featured on a couple of pretty big channels. That's going to be really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if it's helpful to you guys. Then there's this other method, which I found online that wasn't being shown very much, but it doesn't use any TNT. So I'm going to put timestamps here on the screen so you can see exactly when in the video you can go to. If you're here just for the tutorials, I got you. I'm going to make it super easy, step by step, and you're going to be able to do this in no time. So we're getting started in this area right here. One of our server members is going to be making a Nether hub. Now, I don't know if that hub is up top or if it's just down below. I'm assuming it's up top because right down below, there's not a lot of space. But honestly, I don't know. I was told that this 8x8 area needs to be cleared out. And one of the methods that we're doing can easily clear out this whole 8x8 in probably an hour. That's my goal. An 8x8 in an hour. But first we need to get our materials, and we're going to do the easy method first. The really early game method first. This is going to be a very early game method. It only requires 1 TNT for each attempt, which means you don't even need your armor. Unlike all the other ones, you don't need armor, you don't need 2 TNT, you don't lose anything from this method except for the TNT used to test it. And this is a method that I came up with, and what's really great about this is it's highly customizable. So let's move a couple of these out of the way. This was the corner one, yes? All right, we're gonna put this guy right here. That's the corner one that we're breaking. So this is incredibly customizable. And the key to this one is that you wanna make sure that the TNT is closer to the source. The source is this right here. You want to make sure it's closer to that than the piston that's breaking. Breaks the source and then it breaks the piston. The piston is still extended because while this looks like, let me break this, while that is instant, it's technically not instant. It does take just a very fraction of a time to go over there. So by putting it just like this, and let's get this trapdoor. So this is your whole setup, just like this. I do have a fast clicker on my mouse. And what you can do is instead, you can take your right click button and set it to a random letter. Set it to M or L or whatever you want. And what that does is it gives you the ability to fast click. So for this, we're going to flick this lever, hop under here, and then it's going to create a small gap. Let me just show you. It's going to create a small gap right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our fast clicker and hold down just in this general area. It doesn't have to be pixel perfect. The goal is to try to place this piston straight down. So let's test this thing. I'm going to get underneath here. And again, remember, I don't have any armor on. Let's flick the lever, turn on the fast clicker, and that should be it. Turn off my fast clicker, and perfect. It broke it. Now, it's got a pretty high success rate. That doesn't mean it's going to work first try every time, but the success rate is really solid. You're looking at easily 8 out of 10 times from my experience, but definitely go and give this a try. It works really well. And you can see that I didn't lose my 5 redstone, my lever, any of my pistons, or the trapdoor. So I want to step away before we get to the other method, and I want to talk about something that I think would be really fun. I want to create a small little ongoing series of creating little bases inside other server members' bases. And I have the perfect spot for the first one. And I'm going to eventually do it to everybody, and honestly, maybe even multiple. But I've got this shulker here, and I want to go ahead and get the basic materials we need for what you would consider a mini base. We're going to start with a crafting table. Let's do enough materials to do a bunch of beds. I think anvils would be good. And then I added in a chest painting. Let's go ahead and get some nether wart growing, some signs, and an ender chest. It's pretty much the stuff that I have kind of in here. Oh, a furnace would be good. I'm also going to bring a shulker every time I do one of these that has just a bunch of random loot. I'll put that in the chest in there so it looks like it's, an early game base. There we go, a furnace and a little bit of fuel just to stick in the bottom there. And I think I saw in this top chest, I've got a bunch of random loot. So if I just grab a little bit here, there we go, and stick that in there. This definitely looks like just a basic starter base. So now, where are we going to put this? We've got our base here, and we've got spawn back in this direction, and there's a bunch of people over here. And we've got Agent and Dyson's base here. We've got Lavathor's Citadel there. There's a couple of bases, actually there's one here, but I need to specifically find a base that has a nice little cubbyhole where I can put a little mini base. That could be promising, but I have one in mind. All right, do you see it yet? They have nice little figurines up here. And these look like nice, spacious holes. So let's see what's in here. Yeah, this is perfect. I think this is where we set up our base. You know, this space is actually big enough to maybe customize it a little bit more. I wonder if I can put a nice floor in here. Okay, there we go. And let's strip all of this. Yeah, this looks great. And now I make a nice even floor in here. So I just need to relocate these torches, put them a little bit higher. So we'll put our bed here with a chest next to it. Let's throw a furnace over here. I actually think 2 furnaces there might look pretty good. There we go. We're going to do a double furnace. We'll put one of those in there, put those extras in there so they look like they're used. We can throw an anvil up there. Let's put some soul sand and another wart there, and that's going to eventually grow with them loading this area. Put a stone cutter, and I wonder if I can get a nice big painting here. Oh my goodness. I actually like that one, but now I kind of wish it was up off the ground a little bit. There we go. I do wish it was one more off the ground. I wonder if I can do it even higher. Even better. I didn't realize I was going to get 4 every time. Ooh, I like that one. And can we do one more? Maybe a little one over their head? Let's try this. Nope. I want to get it sideways. Yeah, I can deal with that. We have all of this stuff right here. So they need to put this in the chest. You know, one more chest wouldn't hurt. Oh, a barrel would be nice. There we go. I'll take a barrel and I'll stick it here. Like just a nice scattered amount. And then over here, let's just get all of this stuff out. And let's start by loading it up. And then we're going to scatter this around too. Just so it looks like it's used. Awesome. So we're going to have a nice little sign here that says Golmov's Secret Base number 1. Overall, check this thing out. It's nice and hidden. You'd never even know this was here. And inside, this is actually pretty roomy. I'm going to go ahead and set my spawn. So this is officially a base that I have. I've slept in it, and we are good. I would like to see how many of these I can stick around the server before people find out. My guess is it's going to be a good bit. So let's go ahead and head back to the Nether. It's time to do the big version of breaking Bedrock. So I have got all of these supplies right here. One of the big key factors with this method is that we do need haste 2 with a full beacon. So we're going to go ahead and get that down first. Let's get the last couple on here right here. And let's get the haste 2 turned on. So now that this is in the background, we can go ahead and build this machine. We're going to complete this step by step so that you could easily follow along. We're going to first put 2 rows of blocks. They do not have to be iron blocks. We're then going to put redstone across the front, a redstone torch on the back, and then a lever right there. Let's take 2 repeaters and line them right on the back, facing left to right. Then we're going to take 3 blocks and place them right here in the middle, on the outside of these repeaters and right on the inside. Let's take some sticky pistons and place them above these blocks. You're going to notice that they extend all the way, but we can hit this lever to turn them all off. Place 2 right in front of the sticky piston. Then let's take our redstone blocks. You actually only need 3. I'm not entirely sure why I had 6. Let's take a temporary block and put it here, and put a piston right on top of it. And we can get rid of that temporary block. We want to put scaffolding across these pistons, and we're going to put them across these as well. So we should have 5 going across. You can see 5 going all the way across, and let me just break these. And let's go 5 across right here as well. It should look just like the backside. And then we just want to place in these pistons, just like on the other one. So put one here and put one here. This is the entire engine right here. If I go and turn this on in the back, you can see it starts working. And we are on a server and it's working just fine. Now what's really cool about this is you can see that this one stays powered, this one's blinking, and this one doesn't look powered at all. In fact, if I were to push F3, you can see power 0. On the left side under targeted block, it says power 0. But that's not entirely true. If I take this piston and I place it down, you can see that it extends, no problem. So this is absolutely being powered. This is where we need to go in and start utilizing this glitch to breaking Bedrock. So here's how this works. We know that this is the corner, so I actually need to break this one right here. So we're gonna take a piston and point it upwards. And then I'm gonna put a trapdoor right here on it. So the way this works is I've got my piston in my offhand, I have my efficiency 5 pickaxe, and I want to left click and right click at the exact same time. When you do that, it breaks the first one and then places the second one but with no piston head. Now if I update this by removing this power source, it punches a hole in the bedrock. So I just finished these 8 and then Kat stopped by, so I'm going to show Kat how to do this. Alright, so go underneath that and you have pistons.
Yep.
Alright, so pistons in the offhand, pickaxe in the normal hand, and then you want to aim for this black line, you can't see me pointing, the top black line on the actual piston, and then left and right at the same time.
Got it.
Alright, so you've made left click and right click both left click, right? So when you push the one, it should automatically do both. Oh, perfect.
Hey, it worked.
And then come out and break that piece of redstone. Awesome. So that's a cool. Now I actually know that even though I've been saying it, that you can actually do the keybinds. Make sure you put it back though.
Actually work. Yeah.
The keybinds actually work. Yeah. So I'm working on your hole.
Yep.
And I just showed Kat how this works, but now I'm going to show you the abbreviated version. So I'm going to place all these pistons right here like this. I'm going to power all of them.
Okay, so it's trying to get ahead of this then.
All right, so check this out. You ready? What? So here's, I'm going to do, what is this, 6 real fast? That's 1, 2,
What the?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Are you just mining it for that to happen?
And let's just do that.
Okay. Are you just mining?
Is that awesome?
When that happens?
So what I'm doing is I'm breaking the piston and immediately replacing it. I actually built this one too close. I'm having a look. I have to break this row right here.
Luckily it doesn't look too bad to move.
It's not. It's not. There you go. And then break this one redstone that powers all of them.
There we go. That should do it. Okay.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, the headless piston stuff is always fun.
And it just, like, it's so fast. So now we should be able to do this entire row at 8. And then once you get to this row, you can just stand here and crouch. You don't have to, place blocks and go underneath.
Like a crappy one. There we go.
Alright, so break the source block. Alright, so let's do a sideways one. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's cool.
So you definitely have to aim right at the black.
Aiming. Like, I'm like aiming.
Oh god, it broke it and updated instantly. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's breaking the bedrock that the redstone is on. Okay. That's cool.
That's so annoying. It keeps doing that.
Oh, well, hold on. I actually broke that one.
Then that. Let's try it.
That should do it. We should be all the way through.
One more. Just didn't get triggered.
One more.
There we go. Quasi connectivity.
Ah, nice. All right, so we should be all the way through this. Check out this quick little time lapse. It doesn't take any TNT to do this, and we were able to work together, and this entire thing was knocked out in just under 17 minutes. This is a quick 20 seconds to show you, but 17 minutes. That's crazy. We went ahead and put a nice little border around this, and things should look just a little bit different. This hole is now perfect for flying down and into the bottom part of the Nether. Couple stacks of TNT, and we got this thing sorted out real well. This is going to finish this part of the project for sure, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what Agent does with this area. It's time to move our portal up to the top. So we're going to quickly make our way up here to a hole that I made at the very beginning, and I just haven't had a chance to come and do this yet. And that's to this block right here. So first, let's get ourselves on the roof, and I guess we should probably look at what block this is. So we're looking at 152.76. Let's pop ourselves up real quick. 152.76. And let's go ahead and do that same method we did earlier. I only brought 2 TNT because I'm confident we're going to be able to do this first try. And first try. Yes, let's go. Okay, so now I can move my portal up top. First we need to break this one. And let's look at the coordinates. 150.73. So this is where it's supposed to be. 150.73. But when we were talking to Agent earlier, he did say that we needed to be at 141 on the height. So right here is where it's supposed to be. I've got this up at 141. It's definitely pretty tall. I can just fly up there or climb the ladder. I am, however, starting to wonder how big the Nether hub is going to be. There's a lot of materials that he's asking for, but is it going to reach all the way over to my portal? Because that's actually kind of a long way. I wonder if I even needed to put it up that high. I did want to show you, I went ahead and I threw over some black wool. There's a bunch of stuff he needs here. The glass is a big one. I could always help trade with my villagers and get glass. I don't know how long it would take to get, well, we're looking at 20 shulkers just in those 2 glass. That's a lot of glass. I put a little bit of black wool in here. I was able to get a shulker of glowstone. I got that from the end. And then I went ahead and got some basalt. I was watching a movie one night. I didn't feel like turning on the record, but I went ahead and just made a quick basalt generator. I'll show you that here in a second. And then I'm just saying I can get green wool in a little bit. Now that we've got the big mob farm right over there, I really don't have a need for wool, but I don't know if you guys remember this from a while back. It's got 5 or 6 sheep in there, I think, and they all kind of get sheared whenever they start eating. It's not the most efficient design. I could have done a lot better, but it has started creating a bunch of just wool in the background. There is still the chunk loader right here in this area, and I cleared this out recently to go put that wool over there that you saw. But I went ahead and re-dyed all these black, so I know I can get a bunch more shulkers of black wool just by letting this run. Here we go, I got some right here. And then I'll re-dye them to green as soon as I have, 2 more shulkers. And then right over here, I set up the beacon from breaking the bedrock. And I set this up. And you can break stuff real fast. The downside is if you want to AFK it, I can push this button and let it AFK. But it only breaks the 1 on this side and the 5 on that side. But if you're going to just let this go for a little bit, you can get as much basalt as you want. So this has been pretty cool. I can just go back and forth if I want to get 10 at a time real fast. And you can see it's just bringing tons of basalt in. If I ever need it for a project, I now have this nice and easily done. That seems like the perfect time to wrap this up. I know that it was a nether heavy day, but I really hope that breaking bedrock in these methods is going to be beneficial to you. It made it incredibly easy. I really love how easy it was, and with Agent helping me, we just knocked it out in no time. So thanks for stopping by and hanging out and watching these couple of methods, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!